Welcome, I am Susan. The reason I am here is because I help leaders find their voice and use their voice. If that is something that you need help with or you're looking to do, hit like and subscribe and let's get into it. Today, we're going to talk about how to listen without hearing their words. So I've got 3 tips for you. 3 ways to listen without hearing their words. I know it sounds crazy. Hang in there with me. When you're having an interaction with whoever you're leading and you really need to know what is going on, what am I missing? There must be something I'm missing because we're not moving in a way that is as effective as I believe we can. Here's the first thing that you want to pay attention to: body language. So, what are you seeing in the person when they're speaking? Tune out, it sounds counterintuitive, tune out the words and just watch their body language. Are they coming in with posture that is welcoming and open? Are they coming in kind of closed down and they're either meek, mild, fearful? Are they coming in and interacting with you in a way that is closed off? We've got arms crossed, we've got maybe not even making eye contact, maybe even a little irritated that they have to meet with you. Do you have someone who is a face toucher, right? They're nervous, doing this a lot. Now listen, I live in the Northeast. We do this all the time. So that's not a telltale that they might be struggling with communication, but pay attention. You want to see, kind of relaxed, open posture. This is showing I'm ready to receive information from you and I'm comfortable relaying information back. If I came in all jacked up and squished in and I'm already a little closed off of what you want to share with me, and I'm probably not going to want to share with you. So watch that body language. Watch their face. If the expressions are sort of just dull, like this, not a whole lot, and you're doing your best to warm them up, something is amiss. Something is askew. So pay attention to what they're saying with their face. Watch the eyes, watch the mouth. If they're not agreeing with each other, just make notes. Don't ask an awkward question like, why does your face look like that? It's not what we're going for. But make notes because you need to dig a little bit deeper based on what you are observing. The other thing would be their hands. Are they using their hand gestures with you? Are they excited to tell you something? Or are they keeping things close to the heart? Like this, I don't know if I should say this. When people are clutching, they're probably afraid of something. It doesn't necessarily mean they're afraid of you, but they might be afraid to show and share their voice with you. Pay attention to it. All right, second thing, after you're paying attention to all the body language, you want to look for evidence that proves out their words and their actions match. If their words and their actions are not tracking, that is something to pay attention to. Northeast nose rub. So what I mean by this, if they're saying, yes, I love to be here, I love coming to work, and yet they've called out 7 out of 10 days, that's not matching. Yes, I love customer service. It really fills me to help people. And you hear them on the phone being rude and dismissive and really not very helpful. We have a mismatch, right? And I know it sounds so basic and so simple, but everything is that simple when you're trying to understand what you're seeing and then what you need to give back in your leadership, in your summary of what might be happening. Because the goal is to get people from here to there. If they truly want to be with you and in your environment and be led by you, it's your job to capture through observation, package it in communication, and then give it back so that that person can do the very best that they are purposed to do on your watch, right? Okay, so when you're seeking your evidence, use objective examples. When we interviewed, you were very excited to tell me how much you love to help people. On this day, I oversaw you, and then fill it in. Either you saw them being extremely helpful and you appreciate that because it matches the mission, fits their job, makes them good at it. Or I saw you struggling with a conversation. Let me tell you what I mean by struggling. I heard your voice elevated. I heard your words moving very fastly. And I also heard you use some words that don't really match the values of our mission. Let's talk about how we can change that so that doesn't happen again. Help me understand what was happening in that moment. Those are ways that you look for evidence, make it clear, and then figure out what to do with that so that it's productive, so that you're not just saying to someone, I didn't like that. That wasn't good. Don't do that again. Sometimes we get so busy, we say things like that, but is that helpful? No. It just kind of moves the distance between you and that person without a lot of clarity on what the expectation is. Now, let me just give you a little side note here. And if this side note rings true for you, please, please hit like, hit subscribe. I would love to see you back here. What is true is that we often find ourselves in this little cloud of thought that is, they should just know, and they should just know better, and they should. Every time you have a thought that starts with they should, I'm going to ask you to stop, take a minute. Even if they should, apparently they don't. So it could be because we forgot to provide them with some training, a policy, some clarity, some really good feedback. So every time we hear they should, that is our indicator that we need to reframe a message, or we need to hold ourselves accountable to hold that person accountable. Ooh, what do I mean by that? There are times when we know we need to correct behavior and we just kind of shy away from it, maybe because we're not comfortable with starting the conversation, maybe because we don't know how to brace ourselves for what they might say back to us. There are a million reasons why we choose not to hold people accountable. Many of those reasons make really good sense, and it's probably most likely just because you're so busy. So I get it, but that doesn't make it okay, and it doesn't resolve whatever the issue is. So when you find yourself saying they should just, that is your sign. I need to think about how I am communicating. So I challenge you to sit with that. Okay, moving on. The third very helpful tip for listening without hearing their words is the third tip for listening without hearing their words is monitor their production. Every single person that you supervise has a very specific job function. They are expected to produce some outcomes. Go look at the outcomes and then make sure that is what you expect from them out of their production. If you're struggling with communication, or if you have someone who's struggling with understanding their role, their job function, whatever it might be, it is our job to observe, bring in the information, package it up in a way that will be palatable to give back in conversation, and then they have a plan to go and improve their performance. We can make a mistake in thinking that we can say a couple words here, or maybe shoot a flashing look or expression there, and that somehow someone will just figure out how to, snap to and do what you want them to do. And it just doesn't work that way. I don't want to say that's the lazy person's approach to supervision, because I don't really believe in laziness. I believe in being under-resourced. I believe in lacking confidence. I believe in lack of role modeling, lack of practice. We often know exactly what we need to do, but because we aren't practiced in it, we're not practiced in making a mistake. We're not practiced in feeling like, I really didn't do that well. We're not practiced in getting constructive feedback, we're not practicing that. And it feels bad and it feels yucky. So we just sort of like tuck into our own selves and try to roll out, right? Like I'm not letting that happen. I don't want to feel that. But if we truly want to grow and we truly want to be an effective leader for someone else who's trying to grow on our watch, you need to challenge yourself. If you are super comfortable and you find yourself just kind of telling people what to do and you're totally comfortable with that, I would suspect one of two things. You're either burnt out and you've given up, or you just don't care. So if you're burnt out and you've given up, let me say this to you. Take some time to repair. Take some time to re-energize. Take some time to go heal and then get back at it. If you just don't care, like you know better, but you just don't care, I would say don't let yourself stay in a position where you have influence over people who are truly trying to grow. And that's so personal. That is such a personal thing. I'm not trying to be a jerk to you. What I'm saying is sometimes that happens in our lifespan. Sometimes that happens in our growth, in development, in our own careers. If that's happening to you, build yourself an exit strategy, build yourself an exit plan, and get the heck out of there. Let somebody else take over the helms and lead that team to do what it is they are entrusted to do. It's all about resources. It's all about stewardship. It's all about role modeling what is best for the delivery of the mission. It starts with you. You need to lead people in a way that is effective and clear and I don't want to say inspiring, but influential. You don't have to go and inspire people every day, but you do have to be influential. They need to know I'm doing this and this person believes in me, and we have a relationship that is built on trust, transparency, good communication. So in your toolbox of communication, remember these three things because you need to do this frequently to really be able to engage with whoever you are leading. Watch that body language, observe, take notes. Look at the evidence of their words and their actions. Are they lining up? Do they track? Third is their production. What is the outcome of their work? Once you have all that figured out, I would encourage you to bring it all in. Let's make a plan. And then we're going to make a very good communication plan on how we're going to give this back to the individual so they understand what you want from their performance. So the next video is going to be completely about how to document what you've heard in your listening. You're going to make a plan, you're going to communicate back to your team member, and you're going to set them up for success. We'll see that on a different video. If any part of this today was helpful for you, please comment, ask me a question, leave me a success story, but comment, like, and subscribe. I would love to have you back here. My style of leadership is full of grace and it's full of grit, and that's just what we do here. So until we meet again, find your voice, use your voice, protect your peace. You are worth it.